the day, another $1. Went ahead and got the front brake cables out, just kind of loosely mounted. Now these front ends, these brake cable distribution block here actually does have a torque spec. It is like 70 to 108 inch-pounds. So I have my torque wrench set at 100 inch-pounds. And there we go, 100 inch-pounds. Now we're also going to try and get, I'm not happy with that. That's not lined up nicely. I'm just feeling the inside here and making sure that we've got decent alignment, and it's the same. This side's out a little bit, so I'm going to loosen this up. I'm going to shift it a little bit and tighten it back up again where I'm actually happy with it. And if you're going to do it, might as well do it right. Get it right the first time, not have to go back and screw with it. So there we go. That feels better. Double check distancing. There we go. Alright, let's tighten that sucker down. This is and you're moving on me. Stop moving on me. I don't want to bend lines either. So, all the fun. It's meant to be fun. You know, front line coming up basically straight. Going to the handlebars. And there we go. Alright. Now we're going to put the Banjo Bolts in. The kit does come, so like I mentioned before, this is a kit from Hill Custom Cycles. Hill Country Custom Cycles, yes. So it comes with the bars. Now, previously I said I had 12-inch bars. I was wrong. What I ordered was 11.5-inch bars. Okay, or 11-inch bars. Big deal. 10-inch, 12-inch, right in the middle. Right, my Limited's got 10-inch bars on it. I didn't want to go too nutsoid with bars on this, so I kind of went in between a 12-inch, which is fairly high now. I'm a tall guy. I'm 6'1". I got my mother-in-law says no. You know, my mother-in-law one time when my wife and I were first dating had asked what my shirt size was, and my wife told her, and that I had, you know, the sleeve length was 36, and she says no, not his inseam, his sleeve length. And she goes, no, his sleeve length's 36. Well, so is my inseam. And the pants I wear are 36 as well. She said, no, only an orangutan has arms that long. Well, guess what? Maybe I'm an orangutan. But the kit comes with new crush washers from the Banjo Bolts. And those actually get set to 12.5 to 14 foot-pounds. Not inch-pounds, foot-pounds. So give me a second. I'm going to go grab another torque wrench and my 10mm socket, which is also what the Banjo Bolts are, 12-point again. Make sure you use a 12-point. Don't try to use a 6-point on it. You'll screw it up. But let me go grab that stuff and get set up, and then I will pull these bars off my Limited off and maybe get the other bars mounted here. Hang on. Two things. Right? First off, brake fluid is caustic as all hell. Don't get it on your paint. If you get it on anything, just wipe it off, you know, fairly soon. Now with these Banjo Bolts, remember, make sure you use 2 crush washers, one on each side of the fitting. If you don't, you're going to hit the brakes and you're going to have leaks. And brake fluid everywhere. Lord only knows you don't want brake fluid everywhere. Alright. So, these are aluminum crush washers. Same as basically what came out of there. Aluminum crush washers. Now, the torque spec on these is 12.5 to 14.5 foot-pounds. And what I've done is I set my torque wrench to 14. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the top one on. And I have previously cleaned these out a little bit to get any old brake fluid and crap out of there. And it's always a good idea to use new brake fluid if you can. You know, if you've got a bottle that's been sitting in the garage open for the last 5 years, you may not want to use that. You may want to just go out and buy yourself a new bottle of brake fluid. And also, don't mix .5, .4, .3. Don't, pay attention to what your vehicle actually. This is being difficult. These fairly stiff cables. Your vehicle actually uses. In this case, it's Harley Davidson says .4. So that's what we will be using is .4 when we get around to actually filling this. And I screwed up. That is not a 10 millimeter. Or I grabbed the wrong socket. I grabbed the wrong socket. I grabbed an 11 millimeter. Hang on, I'll be right back. We've got the elusive 10 millimeter. That fits so much better. Let's get this run down a little bit first. Actually, pretty nice cables. I mean, let's see, you probably can't see it too well, so let me give you a quick adjustment. So these are the cables. They're, coated, stainless braided, so they're not going to, they look a little nicer than your standard black. And pretty nice cables, actually. Handlebars come pre-wired, and we'll talk about that when we get to it, but the handlebars are pre-wired, all that kind of fun stuff. And for a fairly decent price. I'm pretty happy with the price. Order your choice of bars and configurations, whether you've got ABS or not, and all that kind of fun stuff. If I could get my wrench to, there we go. Loosen that up just a little bit. I don't want that. I want that straight out. If I can, fairly straight out. Alright. This is such a pain in the butt to try and work with because you're working in a limited amount of travel space. I'm not happy with that. I'm really not happy with that. I really want it coming straight out the side. Alright, hang on. I'm going to be back again. I'm just going to fiddle with this for a minute. Okay, so we've got the new cables in. Pretty slick. I like those cables. Nice setup to them. There's a more of a close-up of that rim setup we put on the other day. So let's see about getting these handlebars out of here. These are, like I said before, these are the ones that were on my limited, and I just used them for spacing purposes, specifically to make sure that I had the handlebar mounts actually in the right place, right? So they were lined up since they're all 1-inch bars. Just making sure. Oh, yeah, and the ignition switch is now in, and I don't have to use my little jumper setup anymore. So let's just run these out real quick. And I'm really not too concerned with the bars hitting the tank. After all, the tank is kind of destroyed anyways and is being replaced. So it hits the tank, it hits the tank. And that's on the floor. Alright. Let me let me grab the other bars and we'll get those loosely mounted in here. I have the front fairing, the inner fairing part coming, should be here tomorrow. Painted, already pre-painted, which is black, painted as opposed to typically on the 07s and that they're a matte black. I went with a vivid black inner, and I'll be ordering, they're out of stock on them right now, but I'll be ordering the outer fairing from Hogworks, and I'll put the link for Hogworks down below. I'll put the link for Coastal Moto down below as well for that front tire. And I'll have the link for the handlebars from that company from Hill Country Custom Cycles as well. Great product. So let me go grab the bars and we'll get those on. Hang on. Bars. I'm leaving the wrap on it for the moment until we get them situated in here a little bit. Once we've got them kind of where they're not flopping in the breeze, then we'll take the plastic off and see what it is we got here. Now these bars, although specifically specified that it was for a 2007 Street Glide, which is throttled by cable, so the kit came with all the cables. They also have it wired, believe it or not, an extra plug in here. There should only be 2 plugs, one for the left switch housing, one for the right switch housing. This third one is actually throttled by wire. So for whatever reason, they wired it with the grip sensor, the twist sensor, even though this bike A doesn't have it and B don't really need it. So anyways, that's there. I guess if these bars were to go to a different bike that did have that, it would be usable. I don't see why that would be the case, specifically. So we're not going to be able to get the bars mounted up. I'm not going to torque these to spec or anything like that. We're not going to be able to get these aligned right until after the fairing is in. And the gauges and everything are mounted in there. That'll be one of the next things we're going to do. As Derek from Vice Grip Garage would say, how much torque do you apply? All of it. So those aren't going to go anywhere for the moment. So let's see if I can get all this beautiful wrapping off of these bars without scratching them. There's plenty of plastic wrap to take off. Like I said, I ordered these. You can order them with black housings, with chrome housings. I ordered these with the chrome housings, switch housings. So those are matching in with what was in here already, because it does have the chrome master cylinder reservoir and everything else. So we figured that might as well stay with the chrome. It really wasn't, a huge massive upcharge or anything like that to go from one to the other. And I will say one thing. Hill Country Custom Cycles, if you're listening, you guys do one hell of a wrap job, man. I will tell you, you guys are phenomenal with this stuff. I'm impressed. You guys did a great job in packaging it, and I highly recommend the company. If you go to put bars on, you go to put your bars on, and your cables aren't long enough, as long as you haven't mounted the cables, they will be more than happy to swap those out to cables that are correct length for your particular situation. Now they base it on the model of the bike, the year of the bike, the rise of the handlebars, all that kind of stuff. So, they pretty much have it down pat on what it is that is actually needed, as far as cable length, as far as that stuff goes. So together a little bit. There we go. Beautiful bars. I'm liking them. I'm liking them a lot so far. Highly recommend them. And we'll see what happens when we're out on the road and actually get everything else mounted up. But at this point right now, I'm quite happy with these bars. They actually look really nice. Looks like they're well put together, well made. And the best part is you know, if you've ever done bars, you know, like I changed out the ones on my limited from the stock bars to, well, basically Harley Davidson's tall boy, or a 10-inch bar. And I did that because, again, I have 8 arms. And it was a real pain in the ass as far as some of the stuff goes, of having to, you know, pull the wires down through the bars, because I wired mine internally. You don't have to wire them internally. I think it's a lot cleaner if they're wired internally. Obviously, you can't wire your throttle cable and your brake cable and crap like that internally, but you know, your wiring you can. And they've run all the wires, and they put the plug-ins on. You know, it is literally a plug-and-play operation. Mount the bars, put your reservoir on, put your clutch lever on, all that stuff, and then you're good to go. Now, one of the things I haven't done yet is I actually haven't taken the broken levers out of, for example, the brake side. It still has the busted lever in there, so I got to pull that pin out, and I do have levers for it, so it'll get new levers when I'm at that point. I'm not at that point yet. Man, nice big shiny bars. I'm digging it already. It's actually pretty decent. A little bit of probably polishing compound is what that is, sitting in the where the bar neck's down from 1 inch to 1.5 inches. Looks like there's some polishing compound that's left in behind here. I don't know if you can pick that up or not. But there's some, looks like just dried polishing compound is what's on there. Just yellow and white stuff. Yeah, it comes out. That's what it is. It's polishing compound. So I'll clean that stuff out before I put the levers on. But there we go with that. Pretty decent bars, if you ask me, especially for the price. Pre-wired, set up, ready to go, all that. So next thing we'll do is we will get the crap out of there, get the levers on, and probably next time what we'll talk about is the inner fairing. Right, I got all the gauges. I've got new pods, the hold downs for them as well. And they're like $2 a piece if you order them from Harley Davidson. Don't ask for a 13, or don't ask for like an 07, ask for a 13. They still got the parts listed for the 13, or the same for the 7s and that, but it's no problem. You just, hey, got a 2013, I need all the gauge pods. Boom, done. Now, I was going to put the Dakota Digitals on, and I decided not to, just because of the price, right? You know, we were talking $1,300 or $1,400 or $1,500 for a set of gauges. That adds up quick when I spent $1,700 on the front rim with the tire, with the rotors, the whole 9 yards, everything all set up. That's $1,300, $1,700 all told. Which, at the end of the day, when for shipping and everything, I paid probably less for this rim from Coastal Moto than I would have if I bought just a rim alone from, you know, if I ordered it from Dennis Kirk or J&P Cycles or something like that. I was going to go with something very similar to what was on it before. Decided to go with this. It was same price basically for the 21 as it was for the 19. So I said, well, hell, let's just go ahead and keep the 21 on there, and be one of those cheesy douchebags with a 21-inch front wheel. Whatever, I don't care. It nice rim, I like it. I think it's going to go well, especially with the. I think it actually goes better with the back than the one that was on there actually did as well. So I think this will work out. So we're going to call it a day for now. Enjoy some adult beverages before the evening winds down. Working in the garage at night after work, because hell, it's cold out. I know you folks in the Northeast, we people in Tampa don't know what cold is. Yes, we do. It gets into the 30s. Don't think it doesn't. We get frost warnings occasionally and stuff like that. So, but when you're talking 0 or below, I feel sorry for y'all. And with that, ride fast, take chances. See ya.